This is a quite interesting tweet from Chuck Schumer. Do you guys recall all of this hoopla over Russian collusion, and they're spending billions of dollars of taxpayers' money investigating and lawsuits on Donald Trump, and was saying that President Trump was spending more time with Russia, or more concerned with Russia and Vladimir Putin than he was with Americans? Do you guys remember that? Well, now Trump is speaking out against Baltimore. Elijah Cummings says something against Trump. Trump retaliated, told him that he needed to be focusing on Baltimore, Maryland. Residents of Baltimore start coming forward, showing videos and photos of the condition of Baltimore. So now Chuck Schumer is trying to take the attention from Baltimore and put it back on Trump and Russia. But what I find quite interesting about this tweet, and I'm going to read it to you. Now, this is something I screenshot and I posted it on my Facebook page, on one of my Facebook pages. Now, it says, why is President Trump more critical of Baltimore? Keep in mind, Baltimore, an American city that's comprised of black people. So why is President Trump more critical of helping black people in Baltimore than he is of Putin in Moscow? But wait a minute. I didn't think you guys wanted him to collude with Russia. I thought the whole ordeal and investigation about Russia was that Trump should not be friendly with Russia. The United States should not work with Russia. That's the whole thing behind the Russian collusion. Am I correct? That's what had you guys brainwashed and your mind so focused on Trump and Russia. All I kept hearing was Russia collusion, 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 collusion. A word that black people don't use. But black people adopted the word collusion because CNN and MSNBC and all of the Trump-hating media had been feeding your brains Russian collusion and how Trump colludes with Russia. But now that Trump is focused on Baltimore and trying to help the people of Baltimore, primarily black people, now Chuck Schumer, a Democrat, has got an issue with that. Why is President Trump more critical of Baltimore than he is of Putin in Moscow? It's time for him to stop working to divide Americans. Now, how is he dividing Americans when he's trying to help an American city, Baltimore, black people? So how is that dividing America? He's trying to bring American together. If he was trying to divide American, I don't think he would be trying to help Baltimore. Black people that's against him. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about that later, but it says it's time for him to stop working to divide Americans and start working to protect democracy and human rights in America and around the world. Now, that around the world comes back to when black people start talking about reparations. They start talking about we help everybody. So there's no programs that specifically help black people. They start talking about everybody. Now here you have Chuck Schumer is talking about around the world. Protect democracy and human rights around the world. Now, this photo you see on this tweet is in Moscow. You see the color of this female that's being drugged away, this protester. Now, let me give you my interpretation of what Chuck Schumer says. Now, he's the one that called Trump racist, right? That's what the thing's been in the media, that Trump is racist, and he got all these black people saying that Trump is racist. Got all these white people saying Trump is racist, right? But Trump is helping out Baltimore, which is comprised of black people. It's the black community, because billions of dollars have been going into Baltimore, and Elijah Cummings, and his crew have been pocketing the money. They've been stealing the money, and nothing's been done in Baltimore. The people are struggling down there. They're suffering. So they're crying out for help. So what Chuck Schumer is saying, and this is my interpretation, why is President Donald Trump more critical of helping black people than he is helping white people in Moscow? It's time for him to stop helping black people and start protecting white people in Russia. Think about that for a moment. So now that Trump is trying to help Baltimore, Chuck Schumer's got an issue with that. CNN's got an issue with that. CNN is asking the question, why isn't he talking about Russia? Why isn't he concerned about what's going on in Russia? But this is America, Jack. And from what I understand, you had an issue with Trump working with Russia or with Vladimir Putin. So why should Trump be more concerned about Vladimir Putin in Russia and what's going on in Russia when there's problems right here in America? See, and I've been trying to tell you guys, the Democrats are not concerned about black people. They're concerned about the foreigners, the illegal immigrants that's crossing the border illegally. That's who they're helping. The only thing you're good for is voting for Democrats. And like I mentioned in the video I just made this morning about reparations, that's only a smokescreen to get you guys to go in and vote, because they know the mindset, the mentality of black people is they want free stuff. They don't want to work and earn nothing. Not all black people, but for the most part, the so-called black Americans want everything free. They want everything free. They don't want to work for it. They just feel that they're entitled to it. They should just be given it. We want free stuff. So now that there's jobs available, black people don't want the jobs. So they're trying to give them to the illegal immigrants. And I was going to make a video on slavery, because slavery is alive and well in America. The same thing you see happen on the border is the same thing that happened when black people, or so-called black people, were taken into captivity. That's why they want them immigrants here, so that they can work for free, for nothing. And we get you in America, you vote for us. But this is their way of trying to take the attention off of Baltimore and help Elijah Cummings. So in essence, Chuck Schumer is saying that, Trump, why are you down there helping them black people? You should be helping white people in Russia. There's a white girl, a white protester that's being drugged and mistreated in Moscow. That's what you should be more critical of what's going on in Moscow, because white people are being drugged. So Chuck Schumer is telling black people right there, we don't care about y'all. We don't care what happened to y'all. We don't care how you live. Trump should be concerned about the white people in another country, not in Baltimore. Chuck Schumer is saying, why are you wasting your time in Baltimore? Why are you wasting your time with them rat and roach infested people down there? They don't want nothing in life. Why are you wasting your time and energy and dollars there? They're just going to tear the place up. They live like animals. You see how they live. So why is Donald Trump more critical of Baltimore than he is of Putin and Moscow? And it's time for him to stop working to divide Americans and start working to protect democracy and human rights around the world. See, he put America there just for political reasons. That's the only reason why Chuck Schumer's got Americans and America. That's political reasons, but his main focus is on not helping black people here. But you should be more critical of what's happening to the white people over in Moscow. So Chuck Schumer is the real racist. And it's right in your face. And you can't see it. So feedback, tell me what you think. Until next time. I'm fearless.